I love breaking down film, and the film that I could not wait to watch after last weekend was the Red River game because I wanted to see exactly what went on between Texas and OU. Now, a couple of observations first. First, Texas played great, and they played great from start to finish. They played great on offense, they played great on defense. Oklahoma did not. I know that that's like, well, of course, Joel, they lost 49-0. But they were out-coached in a severe way. They were outplayed, out-efforted. They did not show a lot of heart. It was a disappointing day for Oklahoma. But that doesn't take away for some of the execution and maybe game planning that I saw from Texas. And I came away from that film, and I've always been a fan from afar of Steve Sarkisian and his play calling and his game planning. And this weekend was no different. But now what he has is a quarterback that he can use to really attack the defense. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So first and foremost, all right, when I looked at last week's game, the Red River game, it was really about two things from the Texas perspective. Steve Sarkisian and his game planning and his play calling, which I thought was excellent. And I'll show you a couple of examples. And then Quinn Ewers, 21 of 31, 289, and 4 touchdowns. And those don't look like crazy numbers, in particular for like 49-0. But his play and some of the throws that he made were sensational. Sensational. Let's focus first, though, on the play calling and game planning. All right, let's start with a 3rd and 1. All right, this is a 3rd and 1, which means they're going to try to get up there. First downs are imperative. Oklahoma is not prepared at all. You see this on film from Brent Venables' defenses at times where they're trying to get the perfect call. Look at the right side of the defense. To play fast, to get up, and to know this in the game plan. Hey, on a 3rd and short, we know we're just going to get into the same formation. We're not going to substitute, and we're going to get in there and run the football. There's nobody there. Oklahoma doesn't have a chance. That's coaching malpractice from the Sooners side of things. Now, here's another play that I loved. It's a little fake, and it looks like the quarterback's going to roll all the way outside of the pocket. But rather than the tight end coming into the flat, he stays in there to protect. Why? Because they're throwing all the way back across the field. You rarely see that. It's almost like a half roll, but it looks like a full flow roll out of the quarterback. And that wide receiver, by the way, he was running what looked to be a deep over route, stops midfield, and goes back to the opposite side. It's those little wrinkles and nuances that make Steve Sarkisian so good when it comes to game planning and play calling. We saw it back when he was at Alabama. Remember that Mac Jones offense with Devontae Smith? I mean, they were sensational with their movement pre-snap, with their formations. They would basically run, I don't want to minimize it too much. They would run a few number of concepts, right? 10, 12, 13 passing concepts, which is not a lot for a college offense. But they would run it out of like 50 different sets and motions and trying to get their best players, in that case Devontae Smith, into advantageous situations. And then Mac Jones really flourished in that offense. What was different about Texas on Saturday is you saw all those same type of formations and wrinkles to try to gain an advantage over the defense, and yet even more so than Mac Jones, I think he's got a quarterback that can really threaten the defense. Now, I don't want to take away from Mac Jones that year, but Quinn Ewers, folks, makes some throws that just jump off the tape. Jump off the tape. And I'm not talking about for a freshman, for a young player in his 3rd start. No. Just period. He makes some throws that you pause and you say to yourself, wow, that was really impressive. Let me show you a couple of examples. Okay, down the seam, when you're able to attack with ball placement and timing. Right here, you're going to get 4 releases on the left side, and you're going to run 4 vertical routes up the middle of the field. So the safeties are going to have their eyes all over this tight end running a diagonal, which means right when you hit your back foot, you've got an open space for the seam down the far hash. Watch when he throws that ball. That ball is out before the tight end even clears the linebacker, and it's thrown perfectly. That tight window throw right down the seam was sensational. Here's another concept. It's called smash. Corners with hitches on the outside. There's drop 8 coverage. 8 defenders back there. This time they're going to read, though, with that corner route. If the middle of the field is open, he can take the middle of the field. Do you see where that ball came out? Right on time. You can't do that unless you have a deep understanding of the offense and the position in general. And the ball placement was perfect. Way up on the face of his pass catcher, right there, Sanders, the tight end. Perfect ball placement, and it's right on time. He's not throwing it late like Russell Wilson last Thursday in a pick in that Broncos-Colts game. No. This young quarterback is making throws right now that are way beyond his years. He's fearless. He throws with great anticipation, which is what you just saw. He operates quickly. You can tell he's not thinking a lot because he's operating quickly. The more you think as a quarterback, the slower you play. The slower your decisions are. This guy has a firm grasp of what's going on, and he's operating what is always a great game plan and very strong play calling at a high level. So this mixture, a really talented quarterback, playing great, an offensive coach that is aggressive, creative, has great game plans that are going to take advantage of what he sees on the film, and then not afraid to call those things right in the heat of the moment. That combination has Texas set up for success down the rest of the stretch. I know that's a tough conference, but who's beating Texas if they play like that? I think we need to start to at least mull the possibility that Texas could run the table. And then what do we do with the Longhorns at that point? What do we do with them? Now, who knows? Because we've seen Texas go up and down, and maybe they're just fooling us again. But what we saw on Saturday from Sark and from Quinn Ewers was spectacular. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.